Music expresses that which cannot be said, and on which it is impossible to be silent. You have enemies, good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. Life is the flower for which love is the honey. 40 is the old age of youth, 50 the youth of old age. All the forces in the world are not so powerful as an idea whose time has come. Be like the bird who, pausing in her flight a while on boughs to slight, feels them give way beneath her, and yet sings, knowing she hath wings. The greatest happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved, loved for ourselves, or rather, loved in spite of ourselves. Laughter is the sun that drives winter from the human face. To love beauty is to see light. A mother's arms are made of tenderness, and children sleep soundly in them. Perseverance, secret of all triumphs. Adversity makes men, and prosperity makes monsters. When dictatorship is a fact, revolution becomes a right. Change your opinions, keep to your principles. Change your leaves, keep intact your roots. He who opens a school door, closes a prison. Initiative is doing the right thing without being told. There is nothing like a dream to create the future. Be as a bird perched on a frail branch that she feels bending beneath her, still she sings away all the same, knowing she has wings. When a woman is talking to you, listen to what she says with her eyes. To love another person is to see the face of God. The wicked envy and hate, it is their way of admiring. A compliment is something like a kiss through a veil. Short as life is, we make it still shorter by the careless waste of time. The most powerful symptom of love is a tenderness, which becomes at times almost insupportable. Intelligence is the wife, imagination is the mistress, memory is the servant. Concision in style, precision in thought, decision in life. The soul has illusions as the bird has wings, it is supported by them. When God desires to destroy a thing, He entrusts its destruction to the thing itself. Every bad institution of this world ends by suicide. What is history? An echo of the past in the future. A reflex from the future on the past. Virtue has a veil, vice a mask. Each man should frame life so that at some future our fact and his dreaming meet. An intelligent hell would be better than a stupid paradise. When grace is joined with wrinkles, it is adorable. There is an unspeakable dawn in happy old age. Everything being a constant carnival, there is no carnival left. One can resist the invasion of an army, but one cannot resist the invasion of ideas. The mountains, the forest, and the sea render men savage. They develop the fierce, but yet do not destroy the human. Freedom in art, freedom in society. This is the double goal towards which all consistent and logical minds must strive. Son, brother, father, lover, friend. There is room in the heart for all the affections, as there is room in heaven for all the stars. Certain thoughts are prayers. There are moments when, whatever be the attitude of the body, the soul is on its knees. Have courage for the great sorrows of life and patience for the small ones. And when you have laboriously accomplished your daily task, go to sleep in peace. There are thoughts which are prayers. There are moments when, whatever the posture of the body, the soul is on its knees. Greater than the tread of mighty armies is an idea whose time has come. A library implies an act of faith. Life's greatest happiness is to be convinced we are loved. Love is a portion of the soul itself, and it is of the same nature as the celestial breathing of the atmosphere of paradise. The first symptom of love in a young man is timidity, in a girl, boldness. As the purse is emptied, the heart is filled. Sorrow is a fruit. God does not make it grow on limbs too weak to bear it. The supreme happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved. Loved for ourselves, or rather in spite of ourselves. Common sense is in spite of, not as the result of education. Hope is the word which God has written on the brow of every man. An invasion of armies can be resisted, but not an idea whose time has come. Men become accustomed to poison by degrees. I don't mind what Congress does, as long as they don't do it in the streets and frighten the horses. To rise from error to truth is rare and beautiful. Great perils have this beauty, that they bring to light the fraternity of strangers. It is by suffering that human beings become angels. He who is not capable of enduring poverty is not capable of being free. There is one thing stronger than all the armies in the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. A faith is a necessity to a man. Woe to him who believes in nothing. People do not lack strength, they lack will. Those who live are those who fight. To learn to read is to light a fire. Every syllable that is spelled out is a spark. It is nothing to die, it is frightful not to live. Peace is the virtue of civilization, war is its crime. Curiosity is one of the forms of feminine bravery. There is one spectacle grander than the sea, that is the sky. There is one spectacle grander than the sky, that is the interior of the soul. Dear God, how beauty varies in nature and art. In a woman the flesh must be like marble, in a statue the marble must be like flesh. A great artist is a great man in a great child. There are fathers who do not love their children. There is no grandfather who does not adore his grandson. Try as you will, you cannot annihilate that eternal relic of the human heart, love. Jesus wept, Voltaire smiled. From that divine tear and from that human smile is derived the grace of present civilization. To contemplate is to look at shadows. Strong and bitter words indicate a weak cause. We say that slavery has vanished from European civilization. But this is not true. slavery still exists. But now it applies only to women, and its name is prostitution. Our life dreams the utopia, our death achieves the ideal. To give thanks in solitude is enough. Thanksgiving has wings and goes where it must go. Your prayer knows much more about it than you do. The ode lives upon the ideal, the epic upon the grandiose, the drama upon the real. The man who does not know other languages, unless he is a man of genius, necessarily has deficiencies in his ideas. Society is a republic. When an individual tries to lift themselves above others, they are dragged down by the mass, either by ridicule or slander. The learned man knows that he is ignorant. We see past time in a telescope and present time in a microscope. Hence the apparent enormities of the present. The ox suffers, the cart complains. The three great problems of this century: the degradation of man in the proletariat, the subjection of women through hunger, the atrophy of the child by darkness. A war between Europeans is a civil war. A man is not idle because he is absorbed in thought. There is a visible labor and there is an invisible labor. The human soul has still greater need of the ideal than of the real. It is by the real that we exist. It is by the ideal that we live. I'm religiously opposed to religion. Blessed be Providence, which has given to each his toy, the doll to the child to the woman to the man to the devil. A creditor is worse than a slave owner, for the master owns only your person, but a creditor owns your dignity and can command it. Indigestion is charged by God with enforcing morality on the stomach. Our acts make or mar us. We're the children of our own deeds. Civil war, what does that mean? Is there any foreign war? Isn't every war fought between men, between brothers? Do not let it be your aim to be something, but to be someone. To think of shadows is a serious thing. The omnipotence of evil has never resulted in anything but fruitless efforts. Our thoughts always escape from whoever tries to smother them. Without vanity, without coquetry, without curiosity, in a word, without the fall, woman would not be woman. Much of her grace is in her frailty. The word is the verb, and the verb is God. Fashions have done more harm than revolutions. Doing nothing is happiness for children and misery for old men. Smallness in a great man seems smaller by its disproportion with all the rest. Idleness is the heaviest of all oppressions. Men like me are impossible until the day when they become necessary. I am a soul. I know well that what I shall render up to the grave is not myself. That which is myself will go elsewhere. Earth, thou art not my abyss. Joy's smile is much closer to tears than laughter. I love all men who think, even those who think otherwise than myself. When liberty returns, I will return. The flesh is the surface of the unknown. Mankind is not a circle with a single center, but an ellipse with two focal points, of which facts are one and ideas the other.